Now let's turn our attention to finding the domain of a function whose equation is provided. Oftentimes, finding the domain of a function involves remembering three different forms. First, if the function has no denominator or an even root, consider whether the domain could be all real numbers. Second, if there is a denominator in the function's equation, exclude values in a domain that force the denominator to be 0. Third, if there is an even root, we consider excluding values that would make the radicand negative. Before we begin, let us review the conventions of interval notation. The smallest number from the interval is written first. The largest number in the interval is written second, following a comma. Parentheses, left or right parentheses, are used to signify that an endpoint value is not included. We call that exclusive. Brackets, left or right bracket, are used to indicate that an endpoint value is included, and we call that inclusive. So let's go through the inequalities. So we're going to go through the inequality, the interval notation, what it looks like the graph on a line, and what is a description. So the first one, we would read this as x is greater than a. The arrow always points to the smaller number. So that means we have a parenthesis at a, comma, infinity with a parenthesis after infinity. And then there's the graph on our number line. We have a parenthesis at a, and it's going to the right to represent that x is greater than a. Here we have x is less than a. So the smaller number is listed first, which is negative infinity, and then going to the value of a. So we have this parenthesis at a, and it's going towards the left towards negative infinity, which then describes the graph as x is less than a. Next we have x is greater than or equal to a. So we have a bracket at a going towards positive infinity. So here we have a bracket at a going towards positive infinity. And again, the description of the graph is that x is greater than or equal to a. Next we have x is less than or equal to a. Well, we're starting at negative infinity and going to a with a bracket. So that means from negative infinity all the way to a is x is less than or equal to a. Next here we have x is going to be in between a and b, excluding a and b. So we have parenthesis a, comma, b parenthesis. So that means you have parenthesis in all the values that are in between a and b. X is strictly between a and b. Next we have x is greater than or equal to a, and it's less than b. So we have a bracket because we're including the value of a, comma, b with a parenthesis, and there's the graph, and it's saying that x is between a and b, but to include a because of the less than or equal to. Next we have x is greater than a, but less than or equal to b. So we have a parenthesis at a and a bracket at b. So that means we're excluding a, but we're including b. So x is between a and b to include b. And here we have x is greater than or equal to a, and x is less than or equal to b. So we have a bracket at both ends, which means we're including a and b. So x is between a and b to include a and